afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for attending Calgary First Spiritualist Church Autumn Fair Psychic. And I would like to introduce this wonderful woman. Jen is a gifted medium and a seeker, and she's, what's the name of your business? Kiwi?
Oh, it's called the Kiwi Connection.
Kiwi Connection.
Yeah, because I'm from New Zealand originally, and so that's why what I go by. And there's a Kiwi as my logo, so everybody remembers me because there's a Kiwi logo.
Thanks, Jen. We're really looking forward to your talk.
Okay.
Sounds really interesting.
Okay, so today I'm just going to talk a little bit informally about being a medium, and so I would like people to ask me questions as well. Okay, so the first two people who ask me questions, they'll get something. So there you go. There's an incentive for questions. So to begin with my, I'm not going to say journey in mediumship. I'm just going to talk about the guides that I have and how I connect. Because when I first started in my journey, I'm from a generation of mediums. My grandmother, great-grandmother, mother, sister, we're all mediums. So we all have that gift. However, anybody can be a medium. We all have the energy there. I'm no better than anybody else. It's just that I've got on that bicycle and I've started slow, right? And now I'm progressed to a mountain bike and I'm just going really, really fast. Also, another analogy that Spirit brought to me one day is like playing a piano. You start off with one note and the next and then the next. Then you're playing chopsticks and then you're playing a melody. So it builds. So everybody has the ability to be a medium. Nobody tells people this, but we're all the same. Again, we're no special than anybody else. If you go and have a reading with somebody, if they predict doom and gloom, they're not connected with Spirit. Spirit and the divine will only bring you positive energy for your higher self and to help you in life. They will give you information, but it's not directed.
Sorry, so because you came from a family of all mediums,
Yeah.
did you kind of grow up thinking that this is kind of a gift that you're going to have as well? Because if someone didn't come from that before, how would you know that you have this gift?
Okay, I grew up in this, generational trail of mediums. However, I shut it off because I was afraid.
Oh, okay.
And so I shut it off for years and years and years. And finally my cousin Timothy, who passed away, came and said, oh, this is crazy, you need to start doing this. And so I did. So it took a long time for me to get the confidence to start doing it and to believe in myself. You really have to believe in yourself. You don't have to have come from a generation of mediums.
No, but what I'm meaning is you kind of knew that gift. If someone never came from it, how do you know that you could have this gift?
If you didn't come from it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you all do. We all do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're born with it, right? We're all born with souls, and we're all connected to the divine spirit, or whatever you want to call it. Everybody has the gift of mediumship and connecting. It's whether you want to use it or not. That's another thing. And going back to what I said first, you just have to start with the first note and the next note, and you can do it. So if somebody tells you you're not a medium, just nix that, because that's negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are, okay? Even coming here and having readings, you people are all open to spirit, into the spirit world. So, that's starting out, even whether you know it or not, that's your first step to connecting to spirit, okay? Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. Chakra beads.
Oh.
There we go, just for you. Okay, so I'll explain a little bit about the chakra beads. The chakra beads are just to help you when you're sitting in the power with spirit, to help you connect. So I often just sit there with the beads, connecting to spirit. And I don't say you're sitting in the power of spirit. I do say you're sitting in the power of spirit. I don't say you're meditating. It's hard to meditate. My mind goes everywhere, so I can't meditate at all, right? So what I do, I'll just give you a little bit example of what you can do if you want. Is just sit in the power of spirit, ask you guys to come through, go to a beach, and everything that's in your mind, with the waves going out, surf coming in, waves going out, takes away all the things you're thinking about. You know, like, do I need to go get groceries? Do I need to pick the kids up? Whatever, right? So you're taking all those thoughts out so you're clear in your mind so you can actually connect with spirit. So that probably brings me to my spirit team. Over many, many years, I have developed my team, and this is what people don't talk about, their spirit team. They're just like you, sitting in this room. My spirit guides are all here, so I will introduce them, even though you can't see them, but some of you will be able to feel them. So the first one is Grail. He's quite a character. He's my master guide. He came in North America as the word grey owl first, but then he's assimilated to Grail. And so I'm thinking, okay. And then one of my medium friends says, oh, that's from the Holy Grail. And I go, oh, okay, whatever, right? So Grail. So Grail's the master guide, and he oversees everything. So I have Grail. I have my guides in threes. So when I connect to them, I talk to them in threes. So the next one is Isabel. Isabel is my guardian angel. I call her my guardian angel. So I had her since I was tiny. And I used to call her Isa when I was little. And then when I got bigger, it was Isa. And then as I then just disengaged from her completely, and then when I came back into spiritualism, Isabel is her name. So we have a long history from when I was tiny. And then it's another guide.
Do we all have guardian angels?
We do.
Okay.
We all have guardian angels. We all have probably, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 guides around us. It's just who wants to come at a particular time, they will come. And they may come, they may be there, you may know their names, but you may not know where they fit in to your group of your team. So Marguerite, she came in probably 5 years ago, and she is the guide to the Akashic Records. So she kind of keeps you on the track that you need to stay on in life. And then, so there's three, and then there's Summer Casey Clancy, which are my 3 horses that have passed. And then there's, they're my totem animals. And then there's Sultan, Buster, Gemma, and then my little kitty cat. So I encompass all of my animals. And Sultan, Buster, Gemma are also my horses that have passed, because I've rescued horses in the past. And so these are the ones that have come to me. Gemma passed in January, and she came to my friend who's a medium and told her she passed probably a day before I knew she had passed, because she's up at the farm. So they're there, and then I go to this side, and it's Timothy, Joel, Joseph. So Timothy is my cousin who brought me into mediumship, and he's evolving as well. So he's there all the time, but he goes off and learns, and he comes back. So he kind of keeps me on the straight and narrow path of doing readings, connecting with people. He's kind of pushed me from behind, like, keep it up. And then Joel and Joseph is the gatekeeper, and then the person who says, yes, you can come in or you can't come in. So, they're very, very protective of me. And so those are those 3. And then the next 3 is Helen, Marcus, and Murphy. Helen is my trance medium who I bring through when I do trance and trance groups. And Marcus is my healing guide. Murphy is a friend of mine who I actually used to go out with, and we always remained friends, and he passed away. So he has come back to be part of my team and to stay connected with me. He always had a great heart and a great spirit, and he continues to this day. And then I had, sorry, go ahead.
Is there ever any bad or negative spirits that you have, or
No.
No, because you can only bring in positive.
I only bring in positive,
Okay.
and my guides will only let me bring in positive.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if somebody comes in that wants to be part of your team, and that here you had a hard time with them here,
Oh.
well, over there they've evolved, and what were they like here? They're not going to be in spirit. So when they come in spirit, they're bringing their full essence of goodness through, okay? So then it's up to you to forgive and forget and to dismiss their behavior here.
Okay.
So they might come through, and you might accept them or you might not. You don't have to. Yeah. So anyway, Helen, Marcus, and Murphy, and then the next three are my grandmother, and then my Auntie Pauline, and my friend Grant. So Grant he died at 17 years old, and so Grant comes through. He comes through over the years. So I'm pretty old. So I was 17 as well when he died. Okay. And then now he's come through, evolved, and come through to bring in young men and young women who have passed over in spirit of their own hand. Because then when they do that, when they pass over their own hand, they're often upset that they've done that, and they have a lot of regret that they've done that, but they are happy where they are, but they need somebody to come through, to bring them through, to help them through. So it's kind of like they're embarrassed, but they're not. It's just that their energy has a hard time coming through. So he's the one that brings the people through. Okay, my horse Summer, when she first passed, and she passed probably 15 years ago, so she was the one who would bring young children through, because children love animals and children love horses, and horses have such good energy. So she would get the children, put them on her back, and walk with them. Okay, I'm going to let go of that energy because there's somebody coming in, and I'm going to deal with that later. Yeah, so those are my guides. And so now I'm going to tell you a story about my guide, Grail. So when I sit in the power with Grail, Grail will often bring me a story, whether I want it or not. So he's teaching me all the time. So I have a friend who had asked me one day, did I think that she was a past, in her past life, that she was a cat, because she felt that she was a cat because she had this cat energy around her, and she's always had this cat energy around her. I don't know. So I don't know. I have no idea. And so when I was sitting in the power with my team, and Grail comes in. So when I sit in the power, I sit for 10 minutes and 3 seconds. Don't ask me why, but that's what I do. Then I come out, write information down. Go back in, sit in the power for about 7 minutes, come out and write things down. And then I go in for another 5 or 7 minutes and write things down. So when I come out, I don't always read what I have written, but I think it was the next day I was reading what I had written. So Grail decided that he was going to explain to me about animals and past lives and energies. He said, this is his take. He said, no, you don't come back as a human if you're an animal. So he said, animals are animals. Animals come back as animals. People come back as people. So to go further on that, he said, what happens is that if you're standing here and you have a cat that you've had for many years, and the cat is very, very, very close to you, your energy with that cat is connected, so that energy of the cat comes into your aura and it stays with you. So when that cat passes, you still have that feeling, that love, and that encompassing of that animal. So he said, no, she wasn't a cat in her past life, but she has the energy of the cat with her all the time, wherever she goes. And if she goes into another life, she'll have that energy of that cat as well. So that's how he explained that to me. So then he explained it in another way, because when Spirit explains things to me, I don't always get it. So the other way he explained it was, okay, if you see a big field in the wintertime, a beautiful white field, and you see deer hoof prints or moose prints crossing crisscrossing it, kind of like a tablecloth, with all the crisscrosses on it. There could be all kinds of tracks, all kinds of different animals. So he said, in that time, the energy of those animals has crossed at that time. The energy is still there, no matter what. We can't see it, but we can feel it. So energy crosses. So that's going back to the cat. The energy of the cat is still with that person no matter what. So the energy of the tracks of the animals crossing is still there no matter what. Okay, so he's going on to talk about energy a little bit more. So that's what he was saying about the cat. So there was any questions on this? No? Oh, I forgot to give you one of these.
Actually,
You don't want it?
I know.
You're okay? Okay, all right. Okay.
I mean, when you're playing bridge, do you play bridge? I mean, can you read other people's cards?
I don't play bridge. I'm not a psychic. I'm a medium. So I bring people who have passed away in, and we connect with their energy. I wish I could.
Edgar Casey could never play bridge or wouldn't play bridge because he
can
knew
see
what
it.
the money.
Yeah, I don't have the talent that Edgar Casey has. That would be nice, yeah. And I don't connect to any famous people in spirit either. So my connection is limited to my spirit guides and my team. I'm a very simple person, and I like things simple in my life, and I like to understand in my spirits in my life. Okay, so I don't want to go off on a different tangent of playing bridge and trying to read people. Okay. All right. I think we have time for one more story.
Question?
Yep.
What is the difference between psychics and mediums?
Oh, good question. Absolutely. Okay, here.
I already have one. I bought one.
Oh, well, you're going to have another one. Give it to somebody. Can you pass it on? Okay. Okay, so a psychic reads your energy, can read into your aura, read all the information. Okay, so a psychic can read your aura, okay, and read information. So when I do tea leaf readings, I'm reading more of reading into the aura. It's more psychic with my tea leaf readings, okay? And then when I do mediumship, I use cards sometimes, or sometimes I just jot things down. So I'm connecting to that person in spirit, connecting to your uncle or your father or your mother or your friend from when you were little, or your high school friend, or your dad's friend who is your neighbor. It doesn't matter. Whoever wants to come in will come in. I have really no say who comes in. So so mediums connect to people who have passed over, and it's a one-on. It's kind of like lifting up the phone and dialing a number. It's hello. Oh yes. Okay. Yep. And then passing it on, talking, passing it on. Whereas a psychic connects to the energy. So, in order to be a medium, you also have to have psychic abilities as well. Okay, because you're doing both. But psychics, they don't necessarily, they're not mediums, or they don't want to be mediums. It's a choice, right? It's whether you want to or not. So some psychics just want to read the energy and be psychics, and some mediums just want to be mediums. But in order to be a medium, you have to have that psychic ability. Okay, so it's kind of like a transitional step. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Okay. Yep.
Just one question. Do you have any advice for, say, parents that have children that have mediumship abilities? How do you nurture that, or what if the parents of this child don't believe in it, but you know that the child has?
Well, if the parents don't believe in it, you really don't have a say in it. Period. Right? So if you want to educate the child, you need to educate the parents, and then there'll be transition to the child. Yeah.
What about if you have a child and you're a parent, and to nurture the gift? Is there like classes for the kids can take, or?
There is. There's a medium who does do like education with children. Yeah, and I can give you her information later if you want. Yeah, yeah. So I've done readings with children. However, I've asked their parents to be present at the readings, and these are children that have connected and are actually doing readings. I think the youngest one was an 8-year-old boy. So, yeah. But however, you need the parent to be there in order to do the reading, okay? Yeah, you need their consent. Okay. Any other questions? Did you have a question?
Oh, no, sorry, we were just
Okay.
talking about it.
Okay. All right. So I'll just give you the story really quickly. So sometimes he brings in stories in there. I don't know why he brings them in, but he just brings them in. So one day I was sitting in the power with him, and again coming in and out, writing stuff down, and then I read the information. It's like there was this very, very old man, and he comes to a village with riding an old horse, and then there's another person that comes with him, and this person I can't see this person at all. It's like, okay, fine. So then this person is me. So the old man takes from his saddlebag a hen, like a laying hen that lays eggs, gives me the hen, tells me to go down the path over to the old lady's house and to give the hen to her. And so I go and give the hen to her. And then there's another man that comes up who is very, very indignant about that. Why can't I have that? You know, I can make a meal out of that. I can feed myself with that. And so it's like, oh, okay. And then the old man comes walking in, and he said, it's simple. It's like this. He said, I gave the old lady the hen because the hen will lay eggs. The old lady will give the eggs to the people in the village, so the people in the village will have food. If I gave the hen to you, you would kill it, put it in your pot, boil it up, and eat it. And that would be the end. So I'm going, okay, thanks. So that's the information that he gave me at the time. Very simple story, but it makes sense. So out of that, I got some people who are greedy, out for themselves. Other people are there to share, and you want to be involved with the people who share themselves, okay? So that's it. Any more questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you for listening to my little talk on spirit and spirit guides and my little stories. Okay.
Thank you.